All right, he's Billy Liucci. Got to give him a follow at Billy Liucci. He's the owner of the go-to site for Texas A&M info, TexAgs. I really appreciate you, Billy, and I cannot imagine the comments you're having to moderate over there at TexAgs right now with the Longhorns headed to the SEC.
Well, it's been fun. It really has. I'm all about the Twitter venom, and it's a rivalry. I didn't want to deal with. It's been nice not dealing with them, and it's been nice just kind of knowing how much they wish they were in the conference that they couldn't be in. It's been a fun little element to what had become a Twitter only rivalry, and I didn't want to see A&M play them because contrary to what they would ever admit, and now they're essentially admitting it, even though they don't think they are. They needed that game because the Big 12 was a dying league, and they played OU every year in Norman. They
Mm-hmm.
needed A&M at home between their big home and homes with LSU and Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan, Florida. They needed A&M on the home schedule in between because there was nothing, and they couldn't go add these other. They needed A&M on there, and they wanted it, and it was just not. Didn't make any sense for A&M to add that game to the SEC and say, okay, we're going to play y'all when we have to win 3 of 4 because splitting with you guys is an advantage Texas. So we have to win both if we do one home and home. We have to win 3 of 4 if we play 2 home and homes. If we play every year, we pretty much have to win about probably 7 out of 10 to get a noticeable boost from it, and because it's a boost that A&M didn't need, and Texas did. Now you're in the same league. Let's tee it up and play every single year. The one thing I don't want, Mike, is this pod thing to be, if they did it, and I know it's far from.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something that we're all talking about for fun. But if they did, I would want to see. Don't give A&M fans and throw the Aggies a bone here after everything that went down. Don't give a Big 12 pod. Nobody in maroon and white wants to see Missouri, OU, and Texas every single year. The fans don't want it. That's not why they left and joined the SEC. And by the way, did the SEC? It's not that the SEC wasn't going to be the preeminent power. But by A&M moving over to that league and not going to the Pac-16, it certainly kind of helped kill one league. And then if you think about it, the Aggies deciding, no, Texas, we're not going to do that. That shifted the balance of power or kept it where it is for a long time in college football and probably permanently. Because had Texas gotten their way and A&M not made that call to Mike Slive, you're talking about Texas, OU, A&M, and whoever else it was Oak State
Mm-hmm.
in the Pac-16, the balance of power shifting to at least some degree out west. Instead, you had A&M come over, SEC gets into Texas, and that was a 10 years later, that was kind of something that set up, OU and Texas coming over. And now it's kind of permanent. The SEC is permanently entrenched. So, yeah. I think
Well, who would you want to see in A&M's pod then?
I'd like to see LSU and the Mississippi schools, and then Texas, OU, Missouri, and Arkansas with a permanent. It sounds like if they did do pods, it makes sense that there would be, what you would call, I guess, everybody have a permanent crossover,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what they have now. And that one, yeah, heck yeah, make that the Longhorns. Yeah, I absolutely want to see A&M and Texas playing every year. It would make no sense at all for those two teams to be in the same league and not play every year. And what it would also do, it would allow Texas and that former Southwest Conference rival Arkansas, they're big rivals in a lot of sports,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have Texas playing OU and A&M every year. A&M would be playing Texas and LSU every year, which I think LSU, even though the Tigers don't see it that way, there's a long history between A&M and LSU in a lot of sports. It's starting to get really interesting in football, and I just think that's a lot more natural. You have the in-state rivalry in Austin, and you have their neighbors to the east, the border rivalry with LSU. So I think that would be ideal if they did it that way. But again, it just sounds too easy, too convenient. It's going to be something different than that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Billy, I do not want to take up any more of your time, but I really, really appreciate you. And hey, man, let me know if I can ever return the favor. I'm happy to do it.
Heck yeah, we'd love to have you on TexAgs Radio.